Alright, what is good? It's your boy Shimmy back with another video. Yes, we're back with some more My Hero. No long talks, lock the f in. Now let's get into it. Boom, if you don't remember last episode, Bakugo goes and saves All Might. He finds something new out about his quirk. He uses that to speed blitz All For One and blast him into a building. Now we start with this mother, and she's one of them workers at Magic City. If you know, you know. But she has a growth on her arm that she doesn't even know about. And the girl was pregnant and she ain't even know for the first 8 months. I don't know how you don't know for 8 months, that's crazy. But she couldn't even see what was really happening inside of her. She got twins, and one of them's big as hell, that greedy ass baby, bro. She gave birth to the twins and then died on the spot right after. RIP. But when she died, all the growth that was on her arm completely vanished. A year later, news about the glowing baby started making news worldwide. People were getting powers. And it wasn't just people at birth who were getting powers. They even got them when they were going through puberty. Basically, scientists said, yeah, these guys are metahumans and they basically got this power because of a disease, and they classified these people as a new species of human. And y'all already know what happened next. Since they were different humans, the regular humans started hating on them and hunting them down just because they're different. Then one of the humans says, hey, them freaks started gathering in the industrial zone. It's gotta be the ones the demonstrators clashed with last night. Then one of them sees someone. Hey, who the f is over there? And we just see, what the hell, is that a baby or a farmer? Bro's like, who are you?
Where your mom at, nigga?
You know what? Let's just leave that youth alone. They're less likely to be carriers when they're that young. And that was their first mistake. They could have ended the series right then and there. Then this All For One guy just stares at them like this. The other guys are walking and bro's like, y'all hear something? Nah, you just scared, homie. There ain't no monsters out here to get us. Bro's like, nah, what the hell? What is that sound? And they just get stabbed right through their heads? Bro got a collateral, and All For One's just destroying them all. Like, who is that, Zenon? But this was the ability he stole from his mother, and since this youth was born, he's been a menace. Everything he touched belonged to him. And anyone who ain't give him whatever he wanted or didn't do what he wanted, he looked at them with pure disgust. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the importance of why you need a loving home, so we don't get more kids who end up like him. We cut to All For One again, a little older, and the man is just destroying these people in the streets. The man is literally killing them and then stealing their quirks. Then someone throws a pop can at him. He looks, and it's the first All For One user. Bro says, stop, don't hurt them scrubs.
Stop the violence.
Basically, this All For One guy was so greedy as a child, he stole most of the nutrients in the womb, so the first user is just small and frail. I can't lie though, all bro really needs to do is just hit his macros and his protein and he'll be blessed. If not, just take the cycle. But All For One's not gonna take this disrespect. He's not gonna let his little bro get away with throwing some shit at him. So All For One just walks up to him and kicks him in the stomach. Damn. Now Yoichi couldn't give All For One anything. He couldn't really do anything for him either. But All For One looked at him like he was his possession, and he wasn't gonna give him up. Now the original glowing baby grew up, and he's calling for peace between the superhumans and the regular mortals. We cut to All For One, and the man just got back to the crib, and he sees Yoichi sitting there reading. Hey boy, you kept this from me? The hell are you reading? Shit, I mean, I can't really read them big books like Harry Potter, but I've been reading these comics because it's just pictures. And with comics, you can see people's hopes and their dreams. And Yoichi says, I want to be a hero just like this guy. And he hasn't given up on his older bro. He hoped he still had some good inside of him, on some Vegeta shit. But we all know he's just evil. Then 3 years later, the growing baby reached 10 million supporters. Does he even have a power, or is he just glowing? Because if the man's just glowing and there's no power, I'll be on All For One's side. I'm vexed. All For One flies in and he's like, that's dumb as hell. Just because he was the first documented superhuman, he gets all those supporters and the hoes? Fuck all that. So you know what I did? I stole his quirk and I killed him. I ain't even mad at you for that one, gang. They were treating him like he's Jesus and all he does is glow. He needed to go.
It's time to go!
Yoichi's like, nah, you ain't do that. All For One's like, yeah, I did. How'd he even get that much people on his side? Remember what that comic book said? One for all and all for one? Live by those words. That hero you like, he had to hide his identity in battle and solitude while everyone was on the Demon King's side out of fear. Then it hit me. Just like how you found out how you want to live, I found out how I want to live. I ain't trying to be no hero, I'm trying to be a demon king. We cut to All For One trapping his bro. Yoichi's like, listen, meta abilities shouldn't be used for personal gains. But All For One's not hearing that. He tells him, I got a power that even a weak ass like you can handle, and he gives him the power. Then we cut to Kudo finding Yoichi, and he takes him and runs. What, you're leaving? After I gave you power? Nah, you can't leave. You belong to me. But Yoichi ain't alone. After all I did for you, you know what? If I can't have you, nobody can. And he kills the man right then and there. Kudo sees this, he looks All For One dead in his eyes, and the man is showing no remorse, and they just leave. I'm not gonna lie though, as much as All For One was evil, his mother was literally an alcoholic while she was pregnant with them, and left them to fend for themselves. Then we see All For One sitting in his high-rise apartment, and the man's like, hold on, the ability I gave Yoichi is gone. This ain't never happened before. He confirmed with his own ability he doesn't have any meta abilities right now, but he did have powers in the past. Them shits were just so weak he couldn't even detect it. Did they transfer to someone? Also, him having Yoichi's hand still is crazy. Bro is really projecting with Shigaraki. We cut to the second user's hideout, and this other guy says, leader, you ain't get touched by All For One, right? Bro, just check the results. Alright, say no more. You said you was feeling weird, right? Well, your body now has two quirks. You got your natural one, and you got a very weak, trash-ass, garbage-ass, dumbass quirk too. Then we get this parallel of Yoichi talking to both All For One and the second user. And he's telling All For One, you gotta change, gang. You don't think about no one but yourself. He's telling the second user, hey, you gotta pack up that boy All For One. Kudo says, don't worry, Yoichi. I'ma do my big one with this power. But All For One ain't give up yet. He said, nah, that power must still exist out there. I need it. In Yoichi's mind, he's like, you know, if you were just a real guy, the power to give and take could be the kindest power in the world. Then we just see All For One destroying the users one by one throughout time. Like, bro really got split in half, and he really took out fine shit. He says, I control and bring ruin to everything I desire. But you just kept defying me, no matter how much I chased you. And then we just see our GOAT All Might go in and punch the man's head off. And he's just laying there over his body in a pool of blood. Damn. So All Might basically beat Prime All For One with no help. All by himself. Yeah, he really was him. Then this fucking doctor comes in and saves him. Like,
Come on, man.
nah, if this guy wasn't here, the villains wouldn't be on shit. Now back to the present, he says, it's all your fault, Kudo. But hold on, I exterminated his whole bloodline, and I also killed every single woman and child who he was close to? Nah, what is actually wrong with this guy? He needs help. Bro's like, they can't be related, it's just gotta be the eyes. It's a coincidence made by the world just to stop me. He don't even know if Horikoshi's on his side anymore. So he's like, okay, what if I use the gloop warp on him? But the only available places to teleport right now are All Might, who's still close to him, and Shigaraki, who's fighting Deku. And he can't keep fighting because he'll just keep getting younger. And that's a problem because when he goes to meet Shiggy, they're gonna have to scrap because Shiggy don't want to give up his body. And he needs energy to do the transfer. I'll kill him and then I'll do the transfer in one move. He makes this big ass ball and it's just destroying everything it touches. Bakugo's like, hold on, he's gonna use all that energy to propel himself? He wants to end everything with just that move. If he does that move, he's gonna go all the way back to being a baby. All Might's like, Bakugo, I'ma be real, you gotta dodge that shit. I ain't even faced no crazy shit like that when I was fighting. But the man starts shining again. He says, you dumb? With something like that, you're really about to lose. Then we go back in time and we see Bakugo growing up. And he says, Izuku, I won't get in your way anymore. Damn, bro really called him by his first name. Now All For One's coming straight for him with all his power. And Bakugo goes straight in the air, ready to fight. All Might's like, gang, you really gotta dodge that. Then All For One goes in even faster. Bakugo gets the blick out and he's like, please explode this, you. And All For One's yelling with his mouth open. Then all we see is him get shot in the mouth and it explodes. This is why you don't be a freak. Close your mouth when you're fighting, bro. All For One's like, what the? How did he do that? He ain't never done something like that in his life. Bakugo says, my explosions get weaker in the rain, but if it has a coating on it, I can shoot them bitches like a switch. And after some time, they mix together and explode. Bakugo starts self-glazing. He's like, yeah, the man know I'm really like that. I ain't like you. I only need one quirk to put in work. You need about 18 and you still ain't get the job done. You're trash. He remembers All Might telling him the more damage he takes, the younger he becomes. Now back to All For One, he's like, my power's all over the place from the damage. He goes in again yelling and says, Move, boy, you're a side character. Then this Bakugo guy comes in and uses Hauser Impact straight at him and he gets hit again. All Might sees this, he's like, you good, twin? Bakugo felt the pain from that one. The man's like,
you thought it was over.
and he starts hitting him over and over. You dummy, shut up. And he keeps making him explode. Listen, I've had enough of your mouth. All you do is talk. You ain't no real Demon King. All For One's like, what the? I can't even mix quirks together anymore. And it's not because the explosions, it's because he's become younger and frail. And someone walks up to him and says, since you got all these negative emotions, your control got weaker. Then we see all the people who got their quirks stolen from him. And this Hawks guy is holding a fan meeting? Nah, because there's no way. There's no way you got absorbed and your first thought is gal. But he tells him Shigaraki was his downfall. Then Bakugo grabs his face and says, this is our story. And he does a huge blast point blank. And finally, after all the damage he's taken, All For One is cooked. The man gets turned into a baby. He can't even talk no more.
Say dada! Fuck no. Say dada!
And we see All Might watching, his parents watching, and even Yoichi. And Bakugo says there's no way I could have won all alone. All For One's still crawling, trying to get to Shigaraki, but Bakugo goes right in front of him. Damn, you're not dead yet? But Bakugo's really hurting, he can barely stand anymore. But this is great explosion murder god we're talking about. He's still good. This All For One guy tries to stab him, but Bakugo bites it and blows it up. With that explosion, All For One gets even younger and he starts to disappear. The man's crashing out, he's like, not this way. But now he's finally gone and our GOAT does the All Might pose too. Yeah, he's top 3 and he ain't 3. That's all I'ma say. Alright, that's all for this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling about My Hero Season 8, the final season so far. Not gonna lie, for me, this is a contender for Anime of the Year. They're doing their big one with this one. And I'm seeing all the My Hero haters coming out of the woodworks now, rocking with My Hero. So shout out to Horikoshi, man. I'm really working on this second channel. I'm gonna try to get a video out next week, okay? It's cutting close to the wire, but I just gotta lock in. Once I lock in, it'll be up there. So stay tuned for that second channel. Let me know what else you guys want me to do. I'm thinking about doing another. I don't know if it'll be on Halloween though, that's the only thing. So I might have to scrap that and do something else. Maybe the Haikyuu John, maybe the Fate Zero. I was seeing the Black Clover. I was seeing that one. Yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, something 12 episode-ish or shorter or 24. 24 is fine too. Yeah, just let me know. Type down in the comments. I'll take a look. I might do a poll. You guys want me to do a poll? I'll do a poll of like 4 that I might do, and then you guys can just pick from there. Let me know what y'all want to see, and then I'll get right on that. But yeah, grind don't stop. We're at 80K now, so appreciate all y'all. And don't worry, I'm gonna keep grinding. We're not gonna stop. We're not slowing down. If you ain't in the Discord, join the Discord. Probably gonna start going crazy on social media too, so y'all can follow me there. And yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all boys and girls in the next video. Peace.